Hi guys, Andy here, and I'm here to bring you all things mundane and makeup related. If that's your vibe, I'd love it if you would subscribe to be part of my little slice of the internet. And in today's video, I am bringing you my March update. Ow, I bit the inside of my cheek. To the Eyemaggedon project pan. We have almost a complete refresh, so if you want to see all of the progress that has been made, let's get into it. I am sick, so if I'm taking extra breaths, drinking things, I do apologize. But, I feel good enough to do makeup and film. It's a respiratory thing. I get it every winter. Every winter I get either pneumonia or bronchitis, because, it'll be an upper respiratory infection that turns into either pneumonia or bronchitis. It happens every single winter. This one's just happening later. This usually happens in December, but I digress. So, this is the ones we're working on. These are the ones that are rolling out. I have already decluttered a couple because the ones that are in this one were after I took a whole bunch of products to a friend's house. So, I will show photos for those. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. If you don't know what this project is, it was created by Sophie Alexandra, where you create a build your own palette of size of your choice. And it's with your magnetic singles. You use each shade 3 times before rolling them out. If you have not used a shade within 3 months, it is an automatic declutter. So the way that I'm doing it, if within 3 months, if I've used it at least once, I can keep it. But I just put in a new rule. If I have not met my goal of using it 3 times within 6 months, it gets decluttered automatically as well. Because I was pushing it with these shadows. So sorry, had to blow my nose. The first shade that we still had to work on was Copacetic Cosmetics Flourish, which is this guy. So I got 1 use on it in January, 1 use on it in February to meet my 3-use goal. And I hit that February 13th, which I am filming this extremely early for a March update. But, you'll see why in a moment. So, this is a shade that I do want to keep. I think this shade is really, really pretty. So, that one is a keep. Because I have the shades, these are ones I'm keeping, these 2 I'm decluttering. So, that is a goal met and a kept shade. So, next we had Pretties for Your Face. Hidden Treasure, which is this guy. I do really like this one as well. I used it once in January, once in February to hit my goal on the 7th of February. It's such a nice little, icy mint. Very, very pretty. I enjoy. That is a shade I will also be keeping. So 6 months for all of these shades that I'm talking about right now would be next month. Or this month, excuse me. So I have to, the ones I didn't meet my goal on have to be decluttered anyway. Because I'm putting in that new rule, because that's ridiculous. If I can't use a single shade, it doesn't matter that I'm working on a million palettes. If I can't reach for this 3 times in 6 months, I do not need it. So next we have Pretties for Your Face, a frog, a frog amongst fairies. So this is a blue to green shift. I have not used it since November. It's getting decluttered. It's just not a shade that I enjoy here. the declutters I will swatch for you. Like, it's pretty, but it's just a metallic, and I wish it had more sparkle, because I have other greens, just those two right there, that have more oomph to them. So that one is getting decluttered, so it's a goal met, because it's gone. Next, we have Pretties for Your Face Royal Rose, which is this one here. Used it once in January, once in February. I hit my 3-use goal on February 6th. So that one is also staying. I love that shade. For a rosy, like, coppery rose gold shade, I love it. It's so pretty. So, finally, in March, all of my original shades that I rolled in are done or decluttered. So now we flip the page. Those I talked about last month. So next, we have Pretties for Your Face Jolt. That is one that I will be putting a picture up of. I used it once in February, and on the 5th, which is when I used it, I decided to declutter it. That's one of them that went to a friend. I didn't like the texture. It was very, very flaky, and it didn't want to smooth out on the lid, and it just wasn't sparkly enough. It just wasn't sparkly enough for me. Oh, and I did write down also this shade Frog Amongst Fairies. The shade Cauldron in the Bella Beauty Bar Basic Witch Palette is literally the same shade, but 800 million times better. So that is a goal met, because it's gone. Then we have Clarity Cosmetics Hot Cheeto. And that's this guy right here. I used it twice in February, and on the 11th, I decided that I'm decluttering it. So the first time I used it as a blush, and I did think that that was pretty. The second time I used it as an eyeshadow, and I didn't enjoy that. But I don't need to keep this to use as a blush. I just don't think that that's practical. It is pretty, but it's just not something I'm going to use on the eyes. Well, the wipe is done, and that was my last makeup wipe. So now it's time to get out remover and a thing, and yippee. So that shade will be going. So there is that. So that is a goal met. Then we have Pretties for Your Face Twilight, which is the only one left in the palette. This shade right here. I haven't used it yet, but that's okay. I have until May to get my uses on it. I just haven't used it because it's a very dark shade, so I don't even know if it's something that I'm going to enjoy on the eyes. Let me get a makeup wipe. Well, a makeup towel. I need more makeup erasers. You can never have too many of them, in my humble opinion. So yeah, that is the only one still in here. Then we have Give Me Glow, I'm with the DJ. I will put a photo up if I have one. I don't know if I took a photo of that one. But I didn't use that at all, but I swatched it, and I just didn't like the shade of it. And I don't like the really big pans. So I decided to declutter that one, so that one's gone. And last but not least, we have Sydney Grace Honesty, which the photo will be up for you. I decluttered that one. I used it once, and again on the 5th of February, I just decided it wasn't for me. It was too similar to a matte in the Lash Step palette, so I didn't need it, and I could pull that out. But it was the exact same shade, and I'm not going to keep singles, especially matte singles, that I can dupe in palettes. So, do. So that can go over there. So instead of rolling in 800 things, I'm just going to roll in what will fit in this palette. So, because I should know by now what is a big single and what isn't, and all of that jazz. So, I have my screen recording up for you guys. And, excuse me, that is not what I wanted. That's also not what I wanted. Screen record. My goodness, I'm pressing 800 other buttons. So our very first shadow is Pretties for Your Face, Glacier. Okay. Next is Copacetic Cosmetics Chlorophyll. Copacetic Chlorophyll. I really had to think about how you spell that. Copacetic Cosmetics Bowling Alley. So, Bowling Alley. Pretties for Your Face Broomstick. Ooh, that's a pretty shade. I've never used it, but I've looked at it a million times. Pretties for Your Face Cauldron. That's one I don't know if it's a big shade or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can do 3 more shades as long as they're not big shades. If that one happens to be a big shade, we'll make do. Copacetic Apparition. What do we get? Copacetic. I promise I have other things besides copacetic shades and Pretties for Your Face. Pumpkin Cream. Last one. Give Me Glow Ice Princess. And I do believe that that one's a small one. So I'm going to go grab all those shades and I will be right back for you guys. That took a minute. I need a better organization of my single shadow big palettes, but I found them all. So they are all small shadows, so they're just going to fit in this palette, which is fantastic. So, and here, I'll swatch, what is this one called? Twilight, so we can see the whole color story. So this is the one we were still working on. There's Twilight. Then we rolled in Pretties for Your Face Glacier, which looks like this. Ooh. Ooh. Very similar to Twilight, but a hair brighter and more sparkly. Then we rolled in Copacetic Chlorophyll. We have 2 mattes that we rolled in. So, we'll see if I like the Copacetic mattes as much as I like the shimmers. So there's Chlorophyll. I need a makeup remover. Here we go. Then we rolled in Copacetic Bowling Alley, which it looks like it has a pinky purple shift. This one's very pretty. Ooh, and it's kind of flaky. Just a little. That one's gorgeous. And then we rolled in Pretties for Your Face Broomstick. So it's got like a nudie base, but it's got a little bit of a pink flip. And then when I'm looking at it down here, I also see gold. So there's that shade. And then we rolled in Pretties for Your Face Cauldron. So this one is beautiful. Ooh, that beautiful green shifting shade there. Then we rolled in Copacetic Apparition. Ooh. Well, that one's pretty. It's like a normal shimmer texture. I haven't felt that from Copacetic in the shades that I have. Then we have Copacetic Pumpkin Cream, which is the other matte. Which I like that matte better. Which is funny because I bought chlorophyll. DW sent me pumpkin cream. So I find that hilarious. And our very last shade is from Give Me Glow. And it is the shade Ice Princess. Which honestly, when I was swatching these, I was debating on decluttering this anyway. So I'm honestly very happy it made it in here because now I can really see if I want to keep it because I just don't think it's that special. Like everything else on my hand, because even this shade Apparition has shine. Like this just doesn't do anything. But that is our color story. I don't think it's that bad. Normally I would put it into like a color story that I think is cohesive, but I just put these in how we rolled them in. And maybe that'll help me do some looks, but that is all the shades. That is what they look like. I hope you understand why I did an early update. If I didn't tell you, I'm filming this on Valentine's Day. So this is like 2 weeks early, but I wanted to have more singles to work on. So that's why we did this. So those will have March, April, May, June. These will be until June to be used for all of them. So that is going to do it for this month's update. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you liked what we did. And please applaud me for almost a full refresh. That's the first time that that's happened. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.